Welcome back to Metstro's Analytics. Trying this again. We had a snafu yesterday. Audio didn't record. So we're back looking at skills of the top 16 finishers from the power ranking tournament. Today we're looking at relief pitchers. So why the top 16 only? A, it's a lot of work. B, I think if that 64th team does nothing, he's not going to make the tournament next time. Everybody's going to continue to improve. So if you match one of the top teams, if they did nothing, I still think they'd finish in the top 64. So gives you something to aim at. Um, had more of a sprinkling of different types of cards. We certainly had some legends. We had 11 legend, no, 12 legends, 66. So still dominated by six. We had 10 primes and 14 other being normal cards, non-team SIGs, non-team primes. So little more diversity, especially at the middle reliever role. Now bullpen day is your top skill, closely followed by a control master, some fireballer in there. Um, Same starting pitching skills dominate. So boss, finesse, dominant pitcher, some touch and mess, and then sprinkling of some other skills here, which we will get into, especially some key silver skills. All right, let's look at by type. So closing pitcher, um, they are 16 of them, obviously 16 teams, 12 had legend skills. Um, Boss, finesse, dominant pitcher, so they make the bulk of the remaining skills plus win streak. 10 had win streak, 4 had setup man. So, and then there's one with stability, and that's it. So one thing, no mess. So I have mess on mine. I need to change that at some point. Definitely no touch. So things you want to avoid. Setup man. Um, Cooperative pitching show up. Um, Still a lot of bullpen days and control masters. These three skills, you see some touch, you see some mess. Um, Inning eater, little some other ones. One thing that stood out to me was setup man's only six of them. So 32 players, only six had setup man. Why? Usually they'll stay in for more than one inning. So setup man, great for one inning, not so good for a second inning. Middle reliever, you definitely have some diversity to skills. You'll see mess crop up more. Um, Iron Will, as I've said, it's the only usable spot for it. Middle reliever, third skill. You got a couple giant killers. Fixer's a big one. So out of 48 players, 34 of them, so about three quarters had Fixer. And then a few even had bronzes. So you can kind of get away with a third skill on a middle reliever and still make the tournament. Let's look at levels. So first we'll look at legends and see what they're going for. So one legend didn't have a legend skill. I'm sure he's working on that, but that's still probably a pretty good set. Otherwise, bullpen day, control master, one person rocking fireball. On the six, she will look at six primes. And we'll do all. We'll just focus on those. All right, and now we're looking at first. We'll look at legend skills, see what level they're going for. And actually, we'll start with we'll take out the middle relievers. So if they have a legend skill, you see a couple of them. only level 2 on the third skill. Um, Level 4, most people are going for 4 and up. Level 3's in here. Um, but you can get by with one maybe being in level 2, but it also could be something that's kind of dogging on their Achilles heel, and that's something they're trying to fix. So I would aim for generally 4. That would that would be a must keep. If I was only at 3, I'm not so sure. If I only had Fireballer, I probably wouldn't invest in the greens and the blues. They're so rare. It's a lot easier to come by the premium skill change tickets, even though the hit rate on them are pretty poor. All right, so we're looking at 3 and above. Now, if we have um, non-legend skills, so we got and touch. Here we go. Some of them are trip 3s, and most of them are trip 3s, couple 5s. Let's see what else. Um, let's look at middle relievers now. So you can sort of get away with a level 3, but you'd probably be more like wanting at least that third skill to get to 5. All right. Now, sig middle relievers, similar. We can look at all the middle relievers now. You'll see a more of a diversity of third skills. Here's a bronze in Xanadu. He made it to the top 4. Um, Basically, what I noticed is if you have a SIG, you can get away with having a shittier third skill. But if it's a normal card, you want trips pretty much, or at least to level 4. Stability is a good one, good third. So you really need that good third skill if you only have a normal. And then I'm looking at what I have and what my weaknesses are. So I would do that for you. We got greens and blues maybe coming tomorrow. We'll see. Figure out what's your best bang for the buck. So how many runs will this cause me to give up versus maybe a starting pitcher, maybe a batter, how many runs they'll create. So that's how I'm going to evaluate it. Might have to do a separate video on that. Um, let's see what else were my takeaways. Write them down. 'Cause I had them all laid out yesterday. Yeah, no mess on. I have more for batters. No mess on closers. Um, you really want to get that control master or bullpen day third skill to be level 4. That's sort of what you're aiming for. Um, you can get by without a legend skill, but they really should be trips. But I wouldn't spend greens or blues on a non-legend skill. I mean, you, once you get sort of high enough, you're not using regular skill change tickets anymore. So save them up, see if it comes. It might take 200 or something like that, but otherwise, you may not have a use for them. But I used to do that, but I wouldn't do it anymore. They're too rare to come by, the greens and blues, to use on non-legend skills. All right. I hope this was helpful. I'll be back shortly with the batters.